Yo, homies, what's up? It's E in the actual flesh. What's up? Alright, so today's video we'll be actually doing a reaction based on Ash Callahan's video on discussing menswear as a woman, part 1. She did do a 2-part series on this, so let me know if you want to see a video for part 2. But also, quick disclaimer, she doesn't represent the collective identity of like female groups as a whole. So it's purely based off what she likes and what she could find information on. So just keep an open mind on this video. Please don't go and attack her because she actually makes really solid content. But let's quickly just react to what she has to offer in this specific video. Right. If you're new here, my name is E. Welcome to the channel where we discuss fashion designers, underground and underrepresented designers across the globe. So if that interests you, plus also just like fashion and styling videos in general and a little bit extra. So if that interests you, please do consider liking and subscribing and join the squad. Come on, bro. Like, seriously. And for everyone who has been subscribing and watching our videos, big ups. Elite work, homie. I see you. Thank you for that.
The unintended side of the internet. But this is what you asked for. This is what the men specifically asked for. So it's your fault. Don't go blaming me. And just to pass further blame, I do actually have my laptop here. I'm looking at photos of men. Let me just formulate a disclaimer quickly. As a woman talking about menswear, I do not represent the female opinion as a whole, neither do I represent male opinion as a whole. I'm merely commenting on the aesthetics of an outfit, as I do not know how an outfit would feel to a male, both emotionally and physically, as I am not a male. If you do get offended, please just open another tab and mute this one, but keep it running so I still get your view. Okay, so I just have a couple of bullet points written down here.
Don't enjoy the video.
Yes, I hear you say in unison. Where to start? One thing I noticed in male fashion, particularly the fashion space, not just looking at men's clothing in general, but the fashion bro environment, there is very little variation in what is considered fashionable. What is considered fashionable by the fashion bro is a baggy jean, cropped top, a loafer, and a zebra crossing. I was really struggling to find anything that wasn't baggy jean, loafer, crop top. Heaven knows why, because it's...
Okay, so like the first thing is like, I'm just wondering what she searched for, like, if that makes sense, because the thing is, if you're like going to like specifically search for menswear, you have to be very specific on like genre of clothing or subculture of clothing you're looking for. This is more so like the TikTok fashion MFR. It's the insanely cropped t-shirt and like the baggy jeans, loafers, derbies. Sounds like myself, but not really. The reality is like this is like very algorithmic outfits, if that makes sense. It's very like curated. It's very easy to get into. So I'm just like wondering what she was, what her search specific term was to get to like these outfits.
It's awful. I really don't like it. I know that something trendy by definition has to be popular, so you are going to be wearing... By the way, like, none
of these outfits that she's showing is in particularly style bad. I think it's just, it's more so suited towards specifically like dressing for the bros. You know, boys being boys. You get the reference.
You know, you're boys being boys. You're comrade in ours.
Coconuts in Barbados. But either way, it's a specific genre for like dressing towards guys. That's how I see it, at least. It's kind of like the whole gym meme, like you're training to get girls, but then in reality you get male validation. So like they're dressing to get girls, but like they're getting male validation, or they're dressing for male validation, if that makes sense. It's kind of like those TikTok outfits where women are trying to dress in a repelling way towards men. I think it's the same. It's boys trying to dress for the boys. If that makes sense.
The same kind of things. However, I just think more trends exist in women's wear than in menswear. So to be considered fashionable or trendy or following trends or into fashion, just every outfit looks very similar because there's less.
Okay, so weird way to represent trends, but to each their own. I don't think menswear is as limited as people make it out to be. I think the main gripe of menswear is the access to variations of clothing that we have, these sparse limited silhouettes that we have. It's just access. It's just a money related issue. So if you don't have like enough funds in your personal capacity to be spending on fashion, which is in of itself an extremely expensive hobby to entertain, let alone just like an endeavor just to dress yourself without being heckled online by people who are against overconsumption or synthetic fibers or what have you not. It's just an access game. And so this is why you see those outfits specifically, because they're super easy to get. They're available like at literally any mall, retail outlet store, online space, whatever. You can find somebody on Etsy or eBay selling these things for you at like $20, $10. Shein sells them probably like at $5 if not. But it's just an access game for menswear. The more you want to dress like better, the more you're gonna step into like what most people was considered artistic dressing. Much more creative. The pieces are much more unique and they are much more silhouette driven and shape determining. If you get what I mean.
Things to choose from. I think my sentiment remains the same when I talk about female fashion and male fashion. I don't like following trends, so of course I'm going to say that I don't like the baggy jean loafer look because it's the biggest trend at the moment. I sympathise because there is far less silhouettes to play with in menswear, and again far less trends to choose from if you want something fashionable or considered fashionable. Don't find inspiration from the fashion bros. They are being paid to wear whatever they're wearing, or being paid to follow trends and general, or indirectly being paid. So there's some kind of ulterior motive to the way they dress. Furthermore, they will have to dress differently every day.
Sometimes I want to dress like this, then I want to dress like this, then like this, and on Tuesdays like this.
Legitimately the same fit. It's the same fit in a different color. It's the same more or less like concept. Like
they will have to dress differently every day.
Sometimes I want to dress
First
like
one
this,
is literally
then I
the
want to dress
last
like
one.
this, then like this, and on Tuesdays like this.
To get content every day, so they'll have to wear a different outfit every day, and it kind of means that there's too much planning and too much thought gone into creating an outfit, and it just means that the outfit comes out really unnatural. This is actually one of the reasons why I don't particularly show my own outfits on the internet. I will occasionally show an outfit here and there, but I don't like the idea of curating an outfit for a photo because I think that you think too hard about it. So with me,
something I'm in agreement with. My socials, I haven't posted anything on like Instagram and TikTok for a while, and I generally just post about like brands and things and stuff that's really cool that you should be interested in. Personal fit pics are good when they're like really personal, but like when they are curated in a sense, they lose that sort of like really cool personality behind it. That's like, oh, this person really likes this specific item and they styled it and like a plethora of variations just to show off their style, right? But there's also like this like benchmark where you have like people who are just really good at styling and it's their whole entire content creation path, right? There's a plethora. I'll post some like menswear people who like are really just about like styling pieces rather than what you're seeing here, which is just like the TikTok slop. Also, like, I don't know if you noticed this, but like a lot of the people she's showing in this like category are literally just young people. So like it looks like they're in their teens to early like 20s. So like access to like funding and money and a plethora of like clothing options isn't going to be available, especially for those age groups. Some people are lucky to have money, but then they don't have that developed personality for style, which is why if you look at like older people who dress up, they dress extremely well. And that comes with years of like just being older, but also years of personal style development, and also just the financial access to clothes and knowing what works in the curation process. And they don't care, essentially. They're not trying to appease a larger like friend group or a group of like young people, because young people live by sort of like sheeping mentality when they start off. I remember when it was the 2018, 2019 was the tote bag warrior era, where it looked like they all came out of like the Amazon fashion where it looks like they all came out of the Amazon fashion department factory. And so like these guys will be mass printed, like it was like military fatigues or like just like fatigue cargo pants, and then it would be like the Travis Scott one mochas, or maybe like just like a standard like military paratrooper boot, right? And a vintage collegiate hoodie or sweater, crew-neck sweater, and a white t-shirt peeking out underneath. You wear a fitted hat, and then a tote bag from like the grocery store that they shop at, or like the bookstore that they buy their books from. That was like the tote bag warrior era, 2018, 2019. It was insane, and it's just like the repeat. It's like just like the infinite repeat cycle. Now it's the baggy jean, Japanese salvage, denim, crop top wearing, type a name for them, like legitimately just type a name for them. But it's that, right? It went from tote bag warrior, it went from hype beast to tote bag warrior to these dudes, to TikTok F fashion bro. But yeah, anyways, let's just continue with the video.
Me, my two most recent posts on Instagram, in fact, I'm wearing the same jumper in both. If I were one of these fashion girly influencers, if I just wore the same jumper every day, people would get incredibly bored with my content. So it's just not something that I can do, and I'd have to think of new outfit ideas every single day, which would lead me to wear things that I don't necessarily like as much as that blue jumper. Like, the reason why I'm wearing that blue jumper in both those videos is because I like that jumper. I don't have as many things to choose from as a fashion girly. I'm not being paid to wear clothing, so I just wear what I like, and it comes out much more naturally. As there is a smaller population of fashion bros than there is fashion girlies, the pool of things to choose from when you're wanting to pick an outfit is just vastly reduced, and for that I do sympathise with you. So where do you find inspiration? In fact, don't find it on outfit ideas for men on Pinterest.
Okay, that explains where she got it from. Okay, so if you're going about searching for like outfit inspiration on Pinterest, you have to be specific for the category of like outfit you're looking. So if you are much more classic and refined, sartorial outfits men in, and then you type in the year right next to it, and it will like show you everything. You can type in under that same category PT Umo, which is like a fashion event for like largely taking part in like PT Umo. It's a town in Italy, but it's like where most like sartorial classic menswear dudes like to go, because that's their category for fashion week, right? But like a lot of the styles that you will see at those guys are in the range of like sartorial and menswear. So there is like creatively done sartorial styles that doesn't look like your mannequin for like men's haberdashery, right? So if you're into streetwear, you have to be specific with like what city of streetwear. If you're talking like streetwear from Tokyo, we're largely going to be referring to like Harajuku and Shinjuku, like just like the general Tokyo like streetwear scene era, which is largely going to be like Harajuku, which is very Japanese hype, right? Or you type in Japanese Americana, or if you're more into like Chinese streetwear, then you're going to be typing in like things like Shanghai streetwear or Chongqing streetwear. Or if you're into New York street style, then you type in New York street style. Like, it's specific to like Pinterest is just gonna like throw you out whatever's gonna get like the most views and interactions, and it's gonna be largely dictated by like a demographic of like young people, right? So if you want really stylish outfits, you have to be specific with the style you want in the year you're looking at. The other thing I generally say, and I will always say this, the best thing for you to do personally in regards to style is to actually follow brands that sell a specific style that you like. If you like sartorial, it's best to follow those brands, because what often more than not, these brands create lookbooks where they employ professional stylists who come up with creative styling. The reason why Aimé Leonard's lookbooks look so good, is because they're perfectly curated by a stylist team who create those outfits, and they understand like the principles of like what it is they're creating. Like the in-house muse is used so much for like his aura of making the clothes look good, right? But also the fact that he is very like New York adjacent, like that's why they usually see him in like streetwear style oriented looks, especially ones that speak true to like New York, right? Where it's like a cultural blending pot of like different cultures, and each culture brings something unique. You have to like bear that in mind, right? Where do you live? What place do you like where they dress, and how can you dress that in that specific manner? Because typing in outfit ideas on men 2025 or just outfit ideas on men, you're gonna get like this stuff, like the weird skin tight era. Those guys are still floating around on the internet. You're gonna get those outfits, and that's not the correct way to dress. Or you're gonna get this stuff with like the TikTok fashion bros, like case in point,
Instagram or TikTok. You will just get a baggy jean wearing crop top adorned, keychain dangling 20-year-old man, and you all look the same. I don't like it. Being fashionable is not the same as being trendy. These outfits are trendy, and this is not the same as being fashionable. Unfortunately, if only it were that easy. But it's not. So where can you find inspiration? Find inspiration for people whose job it is not fashion. The best people to look at for inspiration are creatives, but not in the genre of fashion, if you know what I mean. So you have your actors, your singers, your artists. Look towards those people for inspiration.
Okay,
So you have inspiration are creatives, but not in the genre of fashion, if you know what I mean. So you have your actors.
Pause it here on Jacob Elordi, because this is one thing specific. The amount of times I've seen videos churned out by people on TikTok and Instagram on Jacob Elordi style. Jacob Elordi style isn't his. It's a style curated for him by a team of stylists. You can easily search up this information, right? Jean-Michel Basquiat is an okay reference point. Andy Warhol is okay reference point. I think for artists, for like artists in the medium of art, right, it's okay for you to look at those ones, right? Because I think if I recommended you to dress like Takashi Murakami, you would tell me I'm insane. But like, or cause even, you would be like, this dude is just dresses plainly. But like, the reality is, I don't think you should look at artists, sports stars, and I spoke about this in an old personal styling video of mine on the channel. You shouldn't look at artists, movie stars, film stars, sports stars. These people have way more money than me and you combined, right? And on top of that, they also don't pick their own outfits. It's very rare for them. A few artists pick their outfits where it's personal, and it's generally like, whether you want to admit it or not, it's generally rappers. It's generally people who are in the rap industry. And the only other like artist that outside of that perspective is someone like John Mayer, who really likes fashion and he's into fashion. That's a good person to look at. But like, a lot of you guys are going to say the clothing styles that these people choose are too artistic. You're more leaning towards Jacob Elordi style because it's simplistic in a sense. But his outfits are curated. It's not him. The same thing for, who's the other guy, like Noah Beck. The same thing for Noah Beck. It's the same thing for Noah Beck. His outfits are also curated, and people pretend like, oh, he's more stylish than, say, somebody else. I don't know who, right? But like, you can't follow people in the fashion industry who give style advice, right? I think the danger is so like the main focal point is to find somebody who's offering advice that builds off of it, that builds off of their previous advice, right? You're able to like implement it and expand from your wardrobe from there onwards, right? It doesn't like age, it doesn't go into staleness, right? It's simply like, okay, I'm teaching you how to dress in color. I'm teaching you how to dress in specific shapes. I'm teaching you the correct like terminology that we use for specific garment. Your jacket shouldn't, your suit shouldn't do this at the back of the neck where that's a big no. So like there's specific people you can look at, right? But personal style, in the regards to personal style, that is something that is selfish, right? You can't teach that to somebody. You can teach somebody how to pair, curate, and analyze an outfit, but you can't teach somebody personal style, because personal style is something selfish. It's pertaining to like the specific brands that an individual likes, the specific colors, the specific cuts, the specific way to style an item. That's what personal style boils down to at its core, right? It's just a selfish game, but we can teach you how to use specific rules to employ it in that selfish pursuit of like a good style. Ralph Lauren is a great person and he creates style, right? It's a good person for you to get into, right? Rick Owens is somebody else who is also good at this. Even though his outfits are minimalist, he doesn't wear a lot of the clothes he makes. He wears the shorts, a small stack of shorts, a small stack of t-shirts.
Minimal. That's my closet. I don't have very many clothes. That's a little stack of t-shirts, a little stack of shorts for the factory, for every day, and that's pretty much it.
I will never get over that. I don't have much clothes. Yeah, dude, we get it. You don't have much clothes, but you have a warehouse full of clothes that you actually own. You just don't wear them. The other factor is, it's like I said with like one of the videos I do is recommending like brands and designers. The reason why I do that, right, is because if you are introduced to a brand, right, you are introduced to somebody who's curating a selection of clothing items, right, and styling those clothing items, right? So you'll have like unique ways of thinking of like, oh, I never thought about styling a workwear jacket in this particular manner. I never thought about styling a chambray shirt with this. I never thought about styling double shirts. You understand the point I'm trying to make here? So you can look at designers first and foremost. You can look at specific people such as Derek Guy offers really good advice at Dye Workwear. Their podcast also offers really good advice. The Second Button always offers really good advice. Just for creative styling, Wisdom, Sanjeev, and Deserted and Urban. And then finding content creators who actually make content on outfits, but in a plethora of different ways. And you don't have to boil this down to just men. You can take inspiration from women as well, which is Tracy Ellis Ross dresses in a fire way, bro. Like legitimately. And her outfits veer more masculine than feminine, but she just dresses fire. I would rather take styling advice from Tracy than Then Andrew Tate, fuck
your
off.
singers, your artists. Look towards those people for inspiration, because their focus is not their outfit. So their outfit will be very natural to them. They're just wearing what they have to wear to follow their creative endeavour. However, they have that creative mind. So I believe their outfit will be somewhat a creative outlet for them. But because it's not the focus, they're not thinking too hard about it. They're trying to showcase their artwork. So they're not necessarily thinking about their outfit quite as much as what their art looks like. And by this virtue, I think they would create a more natural outfit. Oh, another one is go onto YouTube and watch all of the house tours of artists. Artists have great fashion sense, I think. The view of what people wear is very skewed due to TikTok and Instagram. You don't want to take outfit inspiration from a fashion creator. Am I shooting myself in the foot here? Don't look towards them for outfit inspiration, because they are creating an outfit to show you. Yeah, okay. Is that enough on that? Is that enough on that? I think that's enough on that. I've told you now to stop wearing the baggy jean, crop top, keychain, loafer, but what do you wear instead? I'm going to tell you what I personally like. Let me just refer you back to my disclaimer. I do not represent the female opinion as a whole, neither do I represent male opinion as a whole. I like giving my opinion, and what you asked for was my opinion, so it's your fault. Baggy trousers. What do you wear instead of baggy trousers? I want to talk about crotches. Excuse the vulgar language, but the crotch of a jean should fit your own crotch. Crotch.
Okay, so she is a woman, so I'll give her that pass, right? But the thing is, like, when it comes to like women's wear, is specifically pants, the crotch area for a woman is much higher than for a man. So whether you would choose to wear bow-legged, drop-crotch trousers, there's nothing wrong with it. This outfit in particular here on the left-hand side is very avant. You can tell it's a very avant style and a very avant brand. It's not available to many people. Most people won't know what this is. I don't even know what this brand is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think for jeans, it's dependent on the style that you're choosing to go for. If you're choosing for like a bootcut classic western style where it's like very tight at the top and like flared out at the bottom, then the crotch is just gonna be like at the average length for a dude. But yeah, again, she's not a dude, so she doesn't understand this, but like there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this style of pants where your crotch, with the crotch area is low. It's just weird for the average person. Do you understand? So there's nothing wrong with that. So I just think like it's a very skewed view towards normality and having everyone, because she says she doesn't like how everyone is dressing the same, but like if you want people to dress in this manner, everyone is gonna still be dressing the same. You understand? And
this is horrendous to talk about. I'm not saying that you need a low-waisted, fitted crotch, but sometimes I look at these outfits and I know why they're a photograph, because there's no possible way you could even walk in these, because the tops of your legs would be far restricted. So I don't know how on earth.
If any of you come from like the late 90s to early 2000s, you know about, and you grew up in like an urban community, right, and you're very influenced by hip-hop, you know about sagging. This doesn't impede you, right? But even just like outside of the hip-hop community, let's say you come from like a background like in South Asia, Saudi, and even like the Horn of Africa, drop crotch pants is very common in those cultures, right? There are pants in those societies where the crotch does drop lower, right? And you can move in them. They actually have a lot of mobility in them. You'll be able to move. So it's just like a thing of like not being aware. Again, it's the shape thing. To the average person, this is weird, right? It's like, where did you get this? Why are you trying to be different from us?
Be walking in it. So don't believe everything you see online, as I say, because there's no way these fashion brands are getting anywhere. But yeah, in conclusion, I don't know. Next thing I said I didn't like was the crop top. So what do we wear instead of this? If you like the cropped length, I really like it when you tuck your shirt into your jeans. Stop chopping your crop tops. I don't know who told you that was a good idea, because it's not. I'm really not a fan of the boxy hip length t-shirt. If you like that cropped length, like if you don't want your t-shirt to fall lower, tuck it in. Stop snipping it off. It's not a good idea and I don't like it. If you like the crop length, which I appreciate, tuck your shirt in. So the don't crop your shirt.
T-shirt pandemic is kind of crazy, and it's played out at this point. And like some guys took it really far, but I think the issue here is that we're not accepting the fact that some guys are queer, right? And in queer fashion, that is a normal thing for men to dress in as, right? But for like, in regards to like, but now you have like street men also who are dressing in this manner, right? And they don't mind, and that's entirely okay. It's to each their own. I'm not gonna get pressed by the fact that a dude is wearing something that I don't like. It's none of my business. I'm gonna keep it moving. But like, the reality is, if you're cropping your t-shirt, get it slightly cropped, because I think she's disregarding the fact that people have odd proportions sometimes. Nobody is equally proportionately built, especially with regards to like the upper torso and the lower torso. Some people have shorter lower torsos, right? And then they have this really long upper torso. Other people have like conjoint forms of this, where the upper body is really long and the lower body is really long, so they like these stretched out variations of humans. And then the clothes don't help either way for them, because now the clothes are too short for them, so it looks cropped. Then you have people who are opposite to that. You have people with shorter torsos but longer legs, and this isn't height dependent, right? You can be a short person with your proportions, right? You have a longer torso, longer legs, but you're short, right? It sounds strange, but it does exist, right? Or you're a short person, right, with a body type where your legs are longer, yet you're short, right? But your upper body is shorter than in relation to your torso. So for some individuals, they do have to crop their t-shirts, but I don't think you should be cropping it yourself. I think taking it to a tailor or seamstress to get it like taken in an inch or two, so it just sits like at mid-fly level, right, is the ideal. It's the ideal of where your t-shirt should sit in general, like mid-fly. Because if the t-shirt is too long, it creates this like odd t-shirt dress shape where it just like swallows the leg and there's nothing layered over or the top to like discern where most men's waistline is, which is why they're doing this. They want to show where the waistline is, because they want to show they have a waistline and they think it makes them taller, right? Which is one of the advices we give in fashion. If you want to look taller, create the illusion of yourself looking taller, you emphasize your waistline, right? But like, I think there's a misguided attempt here. So tucking in your t-shirt is one of the best ways to do that, because there's continuity, right? You see it goes like straight line, right? But let's say you don't want to tuck your t-shirt, right? So what's your option? The t-shirts that you're gonna buy in the store are gonna be too long, which means they're meant for you to tuck them in, right? So you crop them, and you crop them at mid-fly level, right? Just at your specific mid-fly level. And then the other thing is, you should actually wear your trousers at your true waist, which is at your belly button, right? Most guys wear their trousers at their hip, which is this result of this odd, if you will, look of like the crop top and this baggy jean where it's like showing their skin, right?
I'd recommend. Following on from this, if you don't want to tuck in your shirt, just leave it long. Like, don't crop it. Don't. Following on from this, if you don't want to tuck in your shirt, just
See
leave
what
it
I mean? Like, see what I mean? Like, it's a weird shape to me where like it's swallowing too much of his lower body, so it's making him look crimped. But yeah,
long. Like, don't crop it.
this is mid-fly for him.
Don't crop it.
Okay, this shirt has a slight cinch here at the waist, so there is like a distance to like see, okay, his waist ends or starts somewhere here. Plus the fact that it's tonal in the same color range, like it's very dark, you can like go up and down with it without making it look like you're short.
It creates a very bizarre silhouette, I think. And it's the same with jackets, with cropped jackets. There's this very bizarre silhouette going around in the fashion bros with the cropped jacket.
Yeah, okay, so like,
There's this
so if you look at this, right, they're trying to elongate this lower half. This is all they're trying to do. And the most optimal way for them to do it is to wear this like really cropped. So they want like these really long legs, but like this really tiny, like short torso.
Very bizarre silhouette
Again,
going
you see? It's
around in the fashion bro.
I call this specifically the epidemic of like male attractiveness awareness. Men are openly aware that women have a desire for an individual who is taller than them or slightly taller than them, and so they're trying to do this by clothes. Height is non-changeable, right? You can get surgery all you like, but I'm not doing that. Right? I'm a short individual. In life, I had to learn to accept this shortness, right? But the problem comes with dealing with Captain Obvious. Captain Obvious will always come and show, bro, you're so short. I know. I own a mirror, my guy. I know. I can see the people around me, they're taller than me. Right? You have to accept that. But I don't think there needs to be a limitation on how you should dress, especially if you're shorter. And social media, in particular, the content that is being driven out from the West, even in other places in the East, like in China, in China and Japan, dudes are wearing those like sole inserts that make you like gain an inch or something. Right? There's a perpetual epidemic for men to look taller, right? And it doesn't help that like their female counters to which they are trying to be appealing, in online spaces clowning on them. There's some egregious things said out there about like male height in particular. Some men in specific height brackets shouldn't exist per certain women's like posts and tweets. Bro, it's a cool world. So like they're trying to do that. They're trying to like not only appeal attractive to women but also look very tall and respectable to men. So it's a double-edged sword. I think you shouldn't care. This aesthetic and this silhouette is nothing wrong with it. It's in the category of where I would dress. I don't find anything weird about it. Again, it's just it deviates from the normalcy, right? So
with the cropped jacket, bow-legged baggy jeans, like you're all walking around fashion bros with the cropped jacket,
specifically bow-legged trousers. There's a content creator called Greg, right? Greg and Tori likes these styles. I believe Sanjeev also likes these styles. If you know those two content creators, they really like these two styles, and there's nothing wrong with it, right? It really works if you know how to style it. It's the same thing where you see people have a debate over like baggy clothes, and then the clothes they refer to aren't baggy, right? And then you have like these really oversized clothing where it's a specific like curated art form and knowing how to dress in that specific style for it to look good, right? But like you have to be open-minded and you have to engage in the consumption of cloth for you to actually know what it is you need to do in order to style that piece in a particular manner that it looks aesthetically pleasing. which is what Greg does.
Legged baggy jeans, like you're all walking around like you've got rickets. Just like I've said with women, the wide leg low rise parallel jean is awful. I just don't like it. It's personal opinion. Another sentiment I've said with women's wear, another concept I've said with women's wear that I like, baggy clothing that's just too big for you. I prefer that to intentionally oversized clothing. When you get intentionally oversized clothing, I find the proportions are quite unnatural, or quite trendy, maybe rather is a better way of putting it. If you just wear something that's too big, it maintains the same silhouette as if you're wearing something small but you've got it baggy. So I would say when you're looking at jeans, don't go for anything that says wide leg baggy as intended, like, or barrel leg or things like that. You just want a normal looking jean. If the title of the jean is more than 5 words long, you're doing something wrong. It's far too complicated. Just get blue jeans.
Again, this is just like hating on personal style. I feel that regular clothes turn off certain people, right? And it's generally people in the artistic dressing community, right? Me, hello, who prefer styles like this. I prefer my clothes to be very voluminous, very oversized, very silhouette driven, because I like the way it is. And I also like that it's intentionally cut as opposed to buying something oversized, right? And again, there's a disregard for body type. I think people have this perception that men all look like these skinny, slim, athletic TikTok boys. No. I'm sorry to wake you up like this, but like, no. A lot of us don't look like that. A lot of us are very pudgy. Some of us are beefy. Some of us are very muscular. Some of us are extremely skinny. Right, and disregarding male body types is in of itself a little bit judgmental. But again, like I said, she doesn't really know that, and she doesn't live our like experiences. Just same way we don't live women's experiences when it comes to body types. For instance, I stay in a matriarchal family, right? And so the women in my family all have different issues when it comes to dressing, right? Certain clothes don't fit their waist, certain things don't. And in particular, on this topic, if you were to speak to women of African descent specifically, right, the industry doesn't really cater to larger women, right? The fashion and clothing industry, it's catered towards like very slim, petite European women. And then clothing markets in Asia obviously cater to specifically just Asian women who are like these very slim, petite builds, right? So there's issues with it. So African women have much more curvature, so they don't get catered towards, right? So you'll have African women who are very curvaceous in the lower half, but then the waist is extremely small, and then there's this back bubble that their pants do often commonly, right? So the way to fix that is there has to be a sculpted form in the posterior area and on the side area for that bubble to lay flat and flush. Just a little thing to show you like how we don't live each other's experiences, right? Versus if you were to offer those things to a slimmer woman, it will have to be intensely tight, and there would be need for like a stretchy fabric. So there's that.
If you're wearing something small but you've got it baggy. So I would say when you're looking at jeans, don't go for anything that says wide leg baggy as intended, like, or barrel leg or things like that. You just want a normal looking jean. If the title of the jean is more than 5 words long, you're doing something wrong. It's far too complicated. Just get blue jeans. Wear them with a belt. Another one the fashion bros tend to like are jorts. Again, equally with women. I don't really like the jorts. One the fashion bros tend to like are jorts. Again, equally with women.
I personally like this style. I think there's some really good outfits that come from it, right? Like in particular, this one that this girl is wearing is fire. The way she paired it, the tight, slightly cropped compression top with like the white socks, and then like these little, I don't know what they are, like they look like ballet flats or ballet flats with a kitten heel. I don't know what they are specifically, but like it's such a good outfit. It's so playful. It juxtaposes so beautifully between formality and casualness. So like I think really this is like a showcase of like personal style and liking something that is really personal to you.
I don't really like
Again,
the jorts.
the same thing.
The big, massive, almost pyramidal jorts are the ones I don't really like the jorts.
This guy is like basically doing the same approach to that outfit, but it's like a little bit much more masculine in approach, right? So like open shirt, white shirt, these boxy jorts, then the white socks with the formal dress shoes. So like it's playing it.
Big, massive, almost pyramidal jorts are the ones that I don't like, and I don't like them on women, I don't like them on men. I've said that in the past. When you're wearing shorts, just honestly just don't go for the latest trend, I think is what I'm saying. I like a little short. I like a short that's above the...
Okay, nah. Bro, some of us have been blessed unequivocally with the most massivest thighs ever in human history. I'm talking going toe to toe with some thick women out here on thigh game. And pause, that's you on your own. But like legitimately, some of us are built like Paki Hanma character.
入るぜアホ
Bro, like how do you expect me to? I can't fit. I'm pretty sure if I did that, wore shorts above my knee, I would be straight up causing like some kind of like public indecency scene or like a sexual violation or something. Again, disregard for specific body types and a lack of like personal exploration, and like it's true to you, but like she's showing her bias here, like especially with the representation.
Honestly,
of, like,
just don't go for the latest
the
trend,
body types.
I think is what I'm saying. I like a little short. I like a short where it's above the knee. I think it's far better than this A-line, massive jort
super
thing.
skinny, super slim, tall, not very muscular.
Similarly, if you want to wear a longer short, just wear dad short. Don't make it this denim, boxy, baggy jean with a sock on a loafer. If you're wearing loafers, don't wear them with shorts. Don't wear boxy, baggy jean with a sock on a loafer. If you're wearing loafers...
The way you would be flamed alive in certain spaces, bro. This fit isn't for everyone, bro. Leave it to uncle over here.
Don't wear them with shorts. Don't wear them with shorts. Oh, please don't wear them with shorts. I've said before that I don't like juxtaposition. I think that was a bizarre movement in recent fashion history where we started saying that we like things to juxtapose. I'm thinking bloquette, core, heels with the Adidas tracksuits and blah, blah, blah.
I like juxtaposition. I think juxtaposition is one of the best things you can do for your personal style. And that's the thing. It's personal style. It's very selfish. It's like I've been saying this whole entire time. Personal style is a selfish endeavor. We post things online, right? They get interactions and they click with people who are like-minded. Right? Juxtaposition is hard. Women wearing track pants with heels, fire fits, right? My personal best for women is a pleated skirt and a bomber jacket and then combat boots. That outfit just does something to me, bro. Like, oof. Wow. But anyways, I think we're gonna call it there. This video is stretching out way too long, but like that's my opinion. I think she has some really good, strong talking points with regards to just the current era of understanding men's trends. But I think there's also like a lack of things. This is the thing with like fashion advice. You're always gonna miss the space of like people where you're trying to give it fashion advice, which is why I think if you're offering fashion advice, offer baseline fashion advice that anyone can build off of, which in of itself is a very impossible thing to do. People generally don't listen, and you're gonna show your biases either way when you give fashion advice. I think you guys have noticed, like, I prefer much more silhouette driven approaches with the outfits that I show, but yeah, either way, I think there's not a complication here. It's solid fashion advice, but it goes against personal style, right? I think she's just trying to say be mindful of like what's the difference between being fashionable and being trendy, right? There's a fine line between those two, right? So yeah, E, live in the flesh, bro. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace and love, everyone.